Okay, and then the last example that we needed to fill in our notes is the example 2 on solving rational equations by multiplying by the least common denominator. And this has to happen anytime that we have more than one term, like over here we have one, two terms, and over here we have one. Okay, so if on any side of the equation we have more than one term, like this does, then we have to get rid of the fractions by multiplying by the least common denominator. Okay, so the least common denominator in this one's going to be fairly easy because this is over 1, which doesn't really factor into the least common denominator, but this and this are the same. So that's going to make this a little easier. The least common denominator is going to be x minus 2. So I'm going to take this fraction or these equations and I'm going to write them out again. And I'm going to multiply both sides of the equation by x minus 2. And you can put the x minus 2 in parentheses if you need to, because it is a binomial. And then I'm just going to sit here and do the multiplication and find out what cancels. Okay, so I'm going to do x times x minus 2 over 1. I really don't need the over 1 because it really doesn't have a denominator. So, and then I'm going to have 10 times x minus 2 over x minus 2. So you can see what cancels there. Then I'm going to do x squared plus 3x times x minus 2 over x minus 2, and then you can see what cancels there. So you can see I won't have any fractions left at this point. Okay, I'm just going to have regular numbers. I'm going to have x times x minus 2 plus 10 equals x squared plus 3x. And I think I'll just go ahead and distribute this since I know I'm going to have to do that anyway. So x times, x times x and x times 2x, that's x squared minus 2x. So you got a polynomial over here, okay? And I'm going to try to get all the like terms on the same side because if it's an x squared, I'm going to potentially have to solve by factoring. However, when I get ready to move the x squared to the other side, it turns out that the x squareds cancel. So I'm left with negative 2x plus 10 equals 3x. And then if I want to solve this, I'm going to have to get the x's on the same side. So I'm going to add 2x to both sides. So I'm going to end up with 10 equals 5x. And when I divide by 5, I am going to end up with x equals 2. That's my potential solution. Okay, I don't know yet, because remember, anytime that I get an answer on these equations, I have to always check them. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to check. I only got one thing to check, and that's 2. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to check 2. Whoops. But I got to check it in the original equation, so that's kind of a pain. So I got to plug in a 2 for x and a 2 for the denominator of this one, a 2 for the squared number, a 2 for this x, and then a 2 for the bottom x. And you're going to notice something right away which presents a little problem for us, and that is that when I do 2 divided by 2, I get 0. 2 squared is 4. 4 plus 6 is 10 again. But look at what I have here. I have a 0 in the denominator. You cannot divide by 0. Cannot divide by 0. That's undefined, right? Remember that? Therefore, that means that x equals 2 is not a solution, and what I do write for my solution is no solution. Okay? If the only possible solution I had was x minus 2 and it turned out to be not possible, then my answer is going to be no solution. So you can't divide by 0 Therefore, there is no solution to this equation. So hopefully that'll help you as you finish your homework.